Hello, beloved. This is your sister Evangelist Marie, and this is our 155 day into our Bible reading in 365 days. May the Lord be blessed. May the Lord be magnified. We are moving forward. We are going somewhere. So as per our schedule, we have to read First Chronicle chapter 14, 15, and 16, and to read Act of Apostle, Luke chapter 11 verse 1 to 13. Let us dive into it. So in the book of First Chronicle chapter 14, it's about David being established in Jerusalem. And they say when the Lord give him rest, establish him as a king over all Israel. He went and married many wives to show how happy he was, because you cannot marry many wives when you are in trouble or when you are at war. You need to be quiet, because women by themselves, they are already another war. So he married and then he have sons. Now the Philistine was defeated. But there one thing again, I think we saw it before. Therefore, so one thing about David, he always inquire of the Lord. So so they went up to Baal Berezim, and David defeated them again. And then David say, God, how broken through my enemy. God has broken through my enemy by my hand like a breakthrough of water. Therefore, they call the name, okay. And when they left their God, so those people went to war with their God. And when they were defeated, they even abandoned God. They even abandoned their God in the midst of the war. The God cannot run. The God cannot hide, because they are man-made God. They need men to carry them from point A to point B. If not, they will stay where they abandoned them. That's why they carry their God and burn them. Then the Philistine once again made a raid to the valley. Therefore, David did not say, this is the Philistine that I defeated a few months or few days ago, so just let me go. No, the guy was walking with God, the man according to the heart of the Lord. So even the second time, they still went to the valley. He would have said that I have already experienced. I can just go to the valley and apply what worked the last time. No. The Bible says in verse 14 of 1 Corinthians 14, therefore David inquired again of God and said to him. So again, may somebody say, may I inquire again and again from God before make a move in my life, in everything that I have to do. You shall not go. And look at what the Lord said. So just imagine 1 second that David will have just move forward, like, okay, it was something that I did yesterday and it worked. Why should I bother God? Let me just go apply what I did yesterday. But look, this time around, it was different. So if he has make a move without inquire from the Lord, the Philistine will have beat them correctly. Therefore, David inquired again of God, and God said to him, you shall not go up after them, but cycle around them and come upon them in front of the mulberry tree. You remember the mulberry tree that we read again. And it shall be, when you hear the sound of marching in the top of the mulberry tree. You see, the mulberry tree is high. So who is marching on top of the mulberry, on top of the leaf, and you even heard the sound of marching? God is so wonderful. So God can march upon leaves. So he said, when you will hear the marching on the top of the mulberry tree, then you shall go out to battle, for God has gone out before you to strike the camp of the Philistine. So it's God that was marching. Oh, Kayaba Zandarabaya. God was marching on top of the leaves, on top of the leaves. So the Lord was marching there. So when you hear the God marching, just go. And so David did as God commanded him, and they drove back the army of the Philistines from Gibeon as far as Gezer. Then the fame of David went out into all lands, and the Lord brought the fear of him upon all nations. Lord, may we be like David. And then the ark. So this again, he changed the strategy. Do you remember? He went first to bring the ark of the Lord, and he put the ark of the Lord into an ox. He put it onto an ox to bring the ark of the Lord to the city of David. But this is the revelation. God does not dwell in animals, but he dwells in man. That's why they couldn't, with the ox, bring the ark of the Lord out of the city where he was to the city of David, because it's the oxen that was carrying the ark of the Lord, which is an abomination. And when David since he was meant so sensitive, he just said, just leave it. He get so scared. Now when he went back and inquired, the book of the law give the description how to bring the act of the law, and he knew. Now this second time, it was the Levite, those people that was appointed by God himself to minister before him to the people. He called them, and the Bible says that they were holding the act of the law in their shoulder, men in their shoulder, because God lives in men, not in animals. Hallelujah. Oh, Mazandarabaya. And they did what they did, and then they came with the act of the law, and David gave a powerful thanksgiving that the time will not permit us to go through it. So now let's go to Act of Apostle. You see Act of Apostle. So now in Luke 11 is about the prayer. So one thing I heard this one, I will not go through everything because the time is not on our side. So the prayer, now it came to pass as he was praying in a certain place, when he sees that one of his disciples said to him, Lord, teach us to pray, as John also taught his disciple. You cannot receive what you don't desire. Let me say that again. You cannot receive what you don't desire. Is it the first time that they were seeing him praying? Is it the first time that they hear him praying? No, until the desire to learn and to know came out, then the Lord gave it to them. May the desire of knowing God by all means come to our heart, to my heart, to your heart, and the Lord will grant us the desire of our heart. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord let his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord open his countenance upon you and give you peace. This was our 155 day of Bible reading in 365 days. I challenge you, as usual, to seek intimacy with God through his word. Why? Because God is his word and God is the word. I challenge you to know God by yourself through his word. There is no other place to know God than through his word. So know God in his word. Make that a duty, a desire to know him, and he will let you know him. Tomorrow be the 5th of May. We have to read 1 Chronicles chapter 17, 18, and 19, and to finish the book of Luke chapter 11 from 14 to 36. Shalom.